That's where they sell weed, marijuana dispensary. I think Loves might know truck drivers. They need a little medication. Got 5 stops. This was like playing a game of Tetris, trying to figure out how all this stuff is gonna go on there. They're color coded, red and blue. So I'm gonna have to do some unstrapping and then restrapping. The worst part is right here. Is that, that's great. It's got 1 strap over it, but the other 2 are, I don't know. I can see this moving. That's probably gonna fall off driving down the road. But it is what it is. I gotta get on the road. Gotta get 5 stops in by Friday. That's Tuesday.
Then take a slight right turn.
They are hammering me on these inspections. That's the 3rd inspection I've had in 11 days. This is the South Dakota. It's a little scale house in South Dakota on Highway 81. And I actually wasn't on, or it's 81 and whatever this little highway is.
The stop sign, turn right onto US 81.
I think it's actually 2 different state highways that run together right here. Oh, 46. So, but they were cool. I did have to explain to them again about my hours of service, going over on my hours. But I think it actually...
For about 113 miles, continue straight.
I think it actually helped that I'd just been stopped in Colorado, because I told him about that situation and told him, you know, I told him what happened. He said it wasn't a big deal. So, but he didn't log it in the system. Like he just didn't do an inspection at all. Here, they actually gave me a clean inspection, a level 2. And he said it would help my insurance. I mean, I know it helps with freight brokers. You know, some of them want 2 inspections. Well, now I've got 2 inspections. One of them's out of service. One of them's clean. I was on duty while he was doing the inspection. And then when I went off duty, I looked and I was gonna have to sit there for like 20 more minutes. Because he got done with the inspection in like 5 minutes. And then just doing the paperwork and everything. So I didn't even get a 30-minute break in. I was thinking about it and with 5 stops, I just need to keep moving. And I was only, you know, like 40 miles from the shipper. I was actually kind of worried that my straps were going to be really loose, but he checked everything. He said they were fine. They still needed to be tightened a little bit. Was running 195 constantly, just on flat ground in Nebraska with a headwind. It actually got up to 197, ran 197 for, I don't know, 10 or 20 miles straight. The boost pressure was like constantly at 15 PSI. Still don't know which stop all these things go to. They've got them color coded. Like there's blue dots, neon or bright green, red, dark green, and then unlabeled. I think all these are unlabeled. This one, I think, is the third stop. So we got red here, blues up top. So this will come off at the first stop. Have to unstrap it. I've got a strap, but I was worried these were gonna shift and just slide slide this way. So I got a little strap loop through there, and it's just pulling that whole rack over this way. That's stop 4. That'll be on for a while. Okay, so this is stop 3. 2 and 3 are gonna get a lot. And neon green. This one's actually going to Colorado State University. That one's probably gonna be a pain in the ass dealing with little college streets and stuff. Just got one of them offloaded. They're in Bricksdale. I'm heading to Colorado State over there in Fort Collins. And this one, I passed like 3 road closure signs on the way up here. This road's technically closed, and the road I came in on, it's closed. But I talked to the customer. I was going to like just a little farm ranch, and he said just go around the signs. Here's our road closure signs.
Turn right onto State Highway 14.
So next morning, got 4 of them off in one day. Pretty productive day, but the last stop, I told him it'd probably be Friday. He had already planned to move a bunch of cattle up to Las Vegas, since he didn't expect me until Friday. So it doesn't always pay to under promise and over deliver. Well, it needs to tighten that one a little bit. But yeah, then of course, right after he tells me that, one of the guys I haul for said he's got a lot of loads coming up. Can I be over there to pick them up? And these are like good paying loads. I think that's an RV park over there, right next to this Love's. This Love's, they put this Love's up next to a, that's where they sell weed, a medical, marijuana dispensary. Oh yeah, that one was easy. I think Love's might know truck drivers, they need a little medication after all the shit we go through out on the roads. Yeah, I think they even got promotions. I think it looks like 15% off going on up there at the dispensary. If you're in Texas, make sure you vote against this Dan Patrick idiot. He's been trying to like ban any THC products in the state of Texas. Abbott had to block his legislation that was trying to just completely ban, like the most strictest ban in the country, basically. And I'm not a big pothead or anything. I'm just pro-freedom, and I think it's a tragedy. What we've done, we've missed out on so many opportunities to research a lot of drugs in this country that could have like very valuable medical benefits for us because of our stupid politicians. I mean, thankfully a lot of the law enforcement now just doesn't even care about it. And I don't know that truck drivers are ever gonna be able to like have marijuana or THC in our, like on a piss test or something like that. The best $1 million idea right now would be coming up with a way to test for marijuana that actually determines if you're high, Not if it's just like in your system. What difference does it make if you smoked 3 days ago and you got it in your system and you get popped for a drug test? Yeah, I was at the house. Like, who cares? I'm minding my own business. Why am I getting punished for this now? Some scientist needs to come up with a test. Walsenburg, Colorado. I guess is how you say it. About to take off and go drop these cattle pens off. Or squeeze chutes, whatever they are. Apparently they're different. They're, the lady at the hay and feed store yesterday told me that I had a couple of them that were
0 minutes of remaining drive time.
That were for calves, and some of them were for like full-grown cows. I don't think any of them were for bulls. Maybe that big yellow thing, but none of these. I mean, I've owned some cattle before, and none of the bulls I was familiar with would fit into any of these little brown things. But these are pretty nice. I mean, they all got hydraulics and everything hooked up to them. She told me they're over $6,000 a piece, even the smaller ones. There used to be type 1 and type 2 diabetes, and type 2 diabetes used to be called adult onset diabetes. I was in college, and I remember hearing a lot about a name change of adult onset to child onset, where they had to basically just get rid of the label adult onset diabetes for type 2 because so many children started developing type 2 diabetes. Sugar is way more deadly than marijuana. I mean, if you were to take, they would never do a study like this, but if you were to let a group of children smoke weed and another group, and the weed smoking group had no access to sugar, and the other group had no access to weed, but they had an abundant access of sugar available to them, I guarantee you the group of children that had access to the excessive amount of sugar would be far worse off. If you followed those populations throughout their lives, the kids that had weed would probably be better off than the kids that had sugar. And all the kids these days have tons of sugar. And there's a much better case to ban alcohol, because you can lose a family member to a drunk driver like that. I don't think there's a whole lot of people that are high on weed that are, killing people out on the highways. Let me know in the comments which side are you on, and if you're opposed to weed, why do you support that stance? What argument am I missing? Yeah, can you just move that around? Yeah. So that's what it was.
See where it bounced against that?
Yep.
And one of it will put a stop on it, but stop it right there. And you thought it would have been all right there.
Yeah. So this is what caused that hydraulic leak. These things are just loose. And so as you're driving down the road, you can see that thing's gonna be bouncing around. It didn't affect any of the other ones, but that one we were just looking at, it caused it loosened that fitting up enough where it's probably just gonna need a new fitting. It's not that big of a deal. He said these are pretty nice. These hydraulic squeeze chutes compared to using the old mechanical ones. He's got a whole lot of them over there though. Yeah, this little guy, I could just unload it by hand. That one's all wrapped up. That guy was cool. Farmers and ranchers are the best people to deal with. One of the hydraulic fittings was busted because, I don't know, it should have been, at least zip tied or had a strap or something just to hold it together, but it could easily just bounce around while you're driving down the road. But he said he wasn't worried about it. He'd just take it up with him and get them to send him a new piece. But I went ahead and marked it on the bill of lading just so they're aware of it. towards Amarillo or Odessa. He said I might be able to grab some fertilizer from somewhere around here, but I hadn't seen anything on the load board, so. Honestly, it's looking like just a deadhead. A deadhead towards Texas is probably gonna be the best thing. So, if y'all made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.